Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for Fear the Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 1, the season premiere. And I'm just going to get right into this video. This episode came out on April 10th, 2016. And at the end of the video, I'll give you what my overall thoughts on this episode were. I'm going to kind of explain a little bit first how I'm going to structure this review. Since there's a lot of different actors and stuff, and it's a TV show, sometimes they separate to their own stories. I'm going to talk about the storylines all in one thing. I'm not going to, because, I find that when I do TV show reviews in the past, that when I try to go over the episode in chronological order, it quite frankly always ends up being really sloppy. I'm just going to talk about everything all at once and kind of stay on that one storyline, so I hope that works. There probably is going to be some of those episodes where that's not going to happen because there'll only be one storyline, but, we'll have to wait and see. But let's start talking about this episode, and then at the end I'll give you my overall thoughts on it and give you my letter grade for it. This episode pretty much kicked right off, right where it left off before, when pretty much towards the end of season 1, not the exact time, I think a couple of hours it went by, but it pretty much kicked right off, right at the end of the first season. Pretty much they're going to go forth with a plan and go on Strand's boat. Abigail was yacht. Actually, it's more of a boat, and it's pretty much utter chaos trying to get off the beach. There's explosives going on, which I thought made the episode kind of have a really explosive start, pun intended. And Strand's struggling to get his boat ready. Madison and Travis are trying to fight off as many walkers as they possibly can. They're hitting them with rocks. Some of them it doesn't have any effect because they're dead. They don't really feel anything. And Chris is just struggling to cope with the fact that his mother has died. He doesn't want to leave his mother just at the beach dead like that. So, and Nick takes a rubber raft, pretty much, a raft boat, and he goes and gets Travis, Madison. I think Alicia was there, Chris, and they go on the boat. But this was a really cool scene. You had a lot of really nice moments. I especially like the scene where Walker came out right out of the water and tried to attack Travis when he was holding Liza's corpse, and it ended up falling and getting its head right into the motor of the raft boat. I thought that was awesome. I loved it. I love this opening scene here. It was kind of a really, it kind of gave you, it was a really explosive and a nice way to kick off the season, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was awesome. So I really liked that. It would have been nice if some of the stuff had been in the trailer, because none of this stuff was in the trailer. And then it kind of goes back, and then when it breaks away, showing the logo and stuff, it kind of goes back to the normal theme, to a normal episode where everyone's just kind of all living their adjusting to be out at sea and stuff, and Strain's kind of talking about where the destinations they want to go and stuff like that. And this is kind of like when the storylines start to become separate. So I'm going to go over all the storylines separately. Actually, not quite yet, because what happens is Madison sees people out there stranded in the middle of the ocean, and she wants to help these people because they're asking for help. And Strand doesn't want to take any chances. He only wants people on his ship that he can trust and have value. And having all these people on here really wouldn't have much value. And quite frankly, they're kind of struggling to get food and stuff. And Madison wants to do the honorable thing and help save these people. And Travis, ironically enough, agrees with Strand, which is kind of very unlike Travis, because in the past, he would have agreed with Madison. He would have wanted to help these people. And Travis didn't want to because they're barely able to take care of themselves. We have somebody that's injured in Ophelia. Our kids aren't doing very well. We need to kind of take care of ourselves before we take care of anybody else. I liked it, I thought it's kind of like one of those life decisions that you have to make in a zombie apocalypse type of world. I thought this was really good, and then obviously this kind of spread a little. This kind of caused a little bit of tension between Travis and Madison, and obviously Strand. I liked it. I thought it was really well done. And obviously Alicia gets a little bit upset that they didn't go save these people. And I'd imagine the people are upset because they're probably good as dead now. So overall, I like what they did there. I thought that if I had to do an up-down system, the opening of this episode, that gets an up. And this part of the episode where they had to make these life decisions, that gets an up. But then the storylines kind of start to become separate, so I'll kind of start talking about those. So Travis asked Alicia to kind of use the CBS, I don't really know what they call it, but the radio that people use when they want to get in contact with someone in boats, to see if they can find any shelter and get into contact with anybody. And she's trying to find somebody, and then who does she find? None other. She ends up hearing a guy's voice, and at first she doesn't really say anything. I just gave away his name by accident. We find out this guy's name's Jack, and he's trying to get Alicia to talk to her, not knowing who it is. Alicia finally talks to him, and then they have like this long conversation, kind of about life and what it was like for them post the zombie apocalypse and where they were when it happened and stuff like that. We find out a little bit about Jack's character. We find out that it's just him, his brother, and his wife, and we find out that they've been stranded at sea for a long time, and we also find out that his girlfriend ended up dying in the zombie apocalypse. So later on in the episode, when Alicia goes to talk to him after she went away from him for a while, we find out that Jack's boat's sinking, and Alicia offers to come save him. So Jack tells her where he is, and Alicia tries to go offer to come save him. Now everything that kind of happened here, I was originally saying this obviously is leading to a bigger story. I don't know where the story is going, but overall I liked it. I'll give it an up because it was kind of like a nice little plot device. It was a nice little sprinkling in of the storylines. I don't know why I did this. I just did it. So I liked it. Another thing I really liked that kind of took place throughout this story was what we were questioning what Strand's motives were going, and as well as all the other characters were, why he was taking this boat. We find out he wants to take this boat to San Diego because he feels it's safe there. But we don't really know why. And we don't really know. What I kind of like about Strand is because he came in so late into the last season. I think he came in around episode 5, if I'm not mistaken. We know very little about his character. We don't really know what Strand's motives are, which I liked. When Alicia tried to go up there and try to see if Strand would go and save Jack, Strand doesn't want this, and he's acting very suspicious. He's asking Alicia what you told about them, and he pretty much tells the whole family it's a dictatorship. It's either my way or it's my way. It's my fucking boat. We're going to do things my way. And I like that. Madison and Strand have had a couple of conversations. He's talking to himself because he's crazy. He says he's talking to ghosts, which really isn't that crazy since it's in a zombie apocalypse world. And Madison goes and talks to Daniel and asks what he... and pretty much she says that he's suspicious of him. And Madison says that she shouldn't be suspicious of him because of all he did to get them out of Los Angeles and stuff like that. And Daniel says that he's not being very descriptive about why he needs to go to San Diego. He had a nice house that was all fenced in, and he was protected from the zombie apocalypse. And now all of a sudden he's packing to go to San Diego. I think and he thinks there's more to it than what we're making out to believe. And that was kind of like the whole story. And later on when him and Nick have a conversation, Strand tells Nick that he only wants people that can contribute something or have a special skill to be on his side. And Nick questions what his skill is and what he can contribute, and he tells him that Nick is fearless because he's willing pretty much to just be a druggie and face death, knowing that knowing that he could possibly be dead within one needle at a time, pretty much, is what I'm saying. Nick doesn't agree with that. He even calls him Nicholas, which Nick didn't like. Which I thought this was kind of weird because that he would say that. But I guess in a zombie apocalypse, if Nick's willing to do all that type, be an addict like that, maybe you would be perfect for a zombie apocalypse. You wouldn't really think about that type of stuff. And yeah, I like that. And then so overall, everything they did with Strand will get an up. So I like that. I even like the best part of the whole episode was everything they did with Chris in this episode. Chris is just really struggling to cope with the loss of his mother, which is very relatable because anybody would be upset about it. But I kind of like how Travis is kind of struggling with it because he doesn't know what to say to Chris because Chris doesn't really think highly of him right now because his own father shot his mother, and he really doesn't know what to think of him. He's tried to talk to him, but Chris just isn't having it. They do this memorial service with all the family and stuff, where Travis talks about how Liza was this kind, caring woman, and talks about how she was a great mother and stuff. And Chris has an opportunity to go up there, and furiously he just shoves Liza's dead corpse right into the water. And Travis is upset about this, and Chris lashes out at Travis, talking about how he shot her. Where if he was in the same position, he would have tried to help her. So Chris just isn't understanding this, and then he decks Travis in the face. And later on in the episode, Madison tries to go down and talk to him and says that he said she understands what you're going through, and the hurt's not going to get better; it's only going to get worse. And then she talks about how Travis did what he did because he cared about your mother. He cared about Liza. She would have done the same thing because she cares. And I even liked later on in the episode where where Chris went to and fished with Daniel, and this kind of was a nice tie-in because they both kind of went through the same thing. And later on, when Travis goes to talk to him, Daniel says that what he did was an act of not only weakness. I'm trying to think of was not only weakness, but putting aside his own moral beliefs. You had a good heart, and you did the right thing by putting down Liza. And I wish I could have done the same thing. And I liked how this all tied in, and I liked everything about it. And then, so that gets it up, and then we get to the end of the episode. Everybody's about to have this great family meal, and fans aren't really looking up for everybody, but it's kind of like one of those nice moments because in a zombie apocalypse world, when they get to see this type of stuff. And then Chris finally comes upstairs, and you think he's going to reunite with the family. It's going to be a happy ending. But then he goes outside in the boat, and he jumps into the water because he wanted to have a swim. Nick tries to come in and save him. And then we find, and it's this big happy moment, but then Strand's boat's alarm starts to go off like something's wrong, like a warning sign. And Alicia, too, I forgot to mention when Strand says that they wouldn't go get and save Jack. Um, Alicia comes in and tells him that, and Jack says, "That's okay, Alicia. We'll see you soon." And we weren't supposed to know what he meant by that, but then we find out that there's all these boats out there that have been tipped over like they've been shot at, and a bunch of people have been killed. They've been turned into walkers, and Nick and Chris have to get on the boat, and Travis jumps in to save them. And then Nick thinks he hears somebody, so we were supposed to have thought that maybe he was going to go save Jack. But then he goes underneath the boat. Somebody had turned into a walker, and he finds this kid with the yacht, and then everybody comes and saves Nick and stuff. And Strand comes down and sees all this carnage and says that we have to get moving, but we can't go. A boat's coming right behind us at 20 miles per hour, but 25 miles per hour. But we could probably outrun it, but it would blow the engine and stuff. And then tells Alicia that whoever did that is coming back for us. So we're supposed to believe that Jack has something to do with it, and then that was pretty much the end of the episode. It pretty much ends with us questioning what's going to happen next with these with this hostile ship coming after them. So yeah, and he even recovered the ship's log. I didn't mention that, but overall, I gotta say that's the end of the episode. Overall, I gotta say this was a good episode here. I do gotta admit, it was a little bit disappointing though, considering the fact that this was supposed to be the season premiere. I kind of expected maybe a little bit more. It was still a good episode, but I still expected a little bit more. I kind of expected a little bit more of this episode to kind of happen with a little more of a bang, but I still thought overall it was good. If this had been maybe like just a normal Fear the Walking Dead episode, I would have said it was a great episode, but overall, I thought it was good. And if I had to give this a letter grade, I'll give it a B. It was good. Actually, not thinking about it, I won't quite. I'm gonna give it a B minus. I think it was good, not quite great, but it was good. I'll give it a B minus. But overall, this episode, overall in the overall rating system, people have given this Matt Fowler of IGN gave this episode a 6.7 out of 10.0 rating, which is like a D, so it gets a pass, maybe like a D plus, gets like a passing grade. And in the rating system, it did really well. We got 6.67 million viewers. If I have to look though to see how many people, what the overall approval rating of this episode is. I'm gonna check IBM now because that's kind of like the best way where you can see like actual fans' perspectives. Yeah, people liked it. They gave it a 7.1, and no one really like wrote anything on it. I don't think, but. It was a little bit of, but I'll admit it was a little bit of a disappointment. Some people like a 4 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 1, 2, 4, 1. Someone did get 7, 6. It was a good 10. Someone gave it a 10. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10, but 10 out of 10, 8. So, like I said, IBM's really weird because I think people give it 10s and 1s and stuff. So it kind of overall factors. But overall, it gets, overall, it seemed like it did very well. Some people liked it. Some people hated it. So, and I think, and some of the people are saying, that they were disappointed with it. Some people just don't really like it. They don't like the cast, from what I'm reading from the title. Some people say it's still a bit slow, but it's building up to being really fast paced. Yeah, so some people said good start, but they were a little disappointed. So I think I agree with some of these people that I think this is a slow start, but we're gonna get some faster pace. What was weird was this episode was I don't think this people were expecting this episode. Maybe they were, but it really was. But they didn't go to this episode at all in the trailer, so it was weird. Um, but overall, I gotta say it was a good episode. I'll give it a B minus. That's pretty much my review though of Fear the Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 1. Leave you guys thoughts about what you thought about this episode, and that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content, and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers channel. That's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.